Here are some do's and don'ts to follow for handmade volume. Don't use the same volume tweezer for all diameters. Let's say, for example, you break in your tweezer for 0.07. If you were to use that same tweezer on, say, a 0.03, you will likely notice that your lashes are going to slip through the cracks of your tweezer, and it's going to make volume lashing nearly impossible and super frustrating. So we highly recommend labeling all of your handmade volume tweezers like this so you don't accidentally mix them up. Do use the right glue for your environment and speed. If you're currently using a glue that's drying too quickly or too slow, volume lashing is going to be super challenging. You need a glue that dries slow enough that when you place your fan on the natural lash, it wraps and grips instantly, but quick enough that you can let go of that fan within 1 to 2 seconds after wrapping, otherwise the fan might change and lose its shape. If you need help finding the right glue for you, go ahead and just send us a DM and we're happy to help. Don't give your clients T-bars. A T-bar is when the base of your volume fan exceeds the width of the natural lash. Not only can this cause discomfort for your client, but it can also lead to poor retention due to the base hitching on a mascara wand. If this is happening to you, it's likely because you're gripping too many fibers at once and the base of your fan stays in a square form like this. Personally, I love using our Ultra Darks because they have a loose base, meaning that the fibers are broken up. So once you dip your fan in the glue dot, the base will suction together and come to a perfect point, and it will wrap effortlessly around the natural lash. Do mix different fan types in your set. A lot of people worry that mixing different fan types won't blend well in their set, but I'm here to tell you that that isn't true. You can blend so many different fan types strategically to create customized lash sets and manipulate the outcome of your set. For example, if I'm doing a wet lash set on my client and notice that they have a sparse area or a gap in their lash line, instead of applying a wet lash fan in that area, I'm going to apply a narrow stem fan and slightly direct it inwards towards the gap on either side. And that narrow stem fan is going to offer more coverage than a wet lash fan, so it's going to help bring more fullness to that area. It might feel like these fans will stick out like a sore thumb, but as you can see, they actually blend so beautifully with the set. Don't skip your pre-service prep. No matter if I'm doing a fill or a full set, I will always lash bath and prime the natural lashes before jumping into application. It may feel a little time consuming, but I promise this will actually speed up your services because the extensions will instantly connect like a magnet. And if you don't believe me, here's a clip of me lashing my client without pre-service prep. You can see how much I'm struggling to get that lash to connect because there's debris and oil in the way. This would literally take me double the time to do a set, versus after I gave her a lash bath and primed, and you can see that those extensions are gripping like a magnet. I highly recommend getting a cleanser that not only removes dirt, oil, and debris, but also removes makeup residue so that you can ensure you're working on a clean base every single time. Do always be prepared. There will sometimes be days where you're lashing a little slower than usual. And if you have clients that are booked back to back, you will need to find a way to speed up your service. So I always keep backup pre-fans on hand for when I'm in a pinch. Just grab a few 8 to 15 millimeter mix trays in your most popular curls and keep them on hand because you never know when you might need them. There also might come a day where you drop your favorite tweezers, so you always want to make sure that you have backups on hand. Another common issue that happens when lashing, and I know this happens to all of us, is getting glue on our tweezer tips, which can also be super frustrating to create handmade fans with. So be sure to always have a glue remover on hand to fix this issue in 30 seconds. All right, that is a wrap on all my do's and don'ts for handmade volume lashing. If you have any questions, go ahead and drop them in the comments below. As always, thank you so much for joining, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.